This is Joe Blasco for MW3 and I'm very pleased and proud to be here, actually at the site of the new star being given to the famous Westmores of Hollywood. Now this star is for all of the Westmore brothers, the original Westmore brothers, and their famous father, George Westmore. Unfortunately, I'm not able to be in town on the day that the star is uncovered. We have our field reporter, Kareem Hilton, and we're going to go forward in time right now to the day that the star is uncovered.
Thanks, Mr. B. We're live on Hollywood and Vine getting set up for the unveiling of the star on the Walk of Fame for the Westmores. That's right, the first family of television and movie makeup is about to receive a long-awaited acknowledgement in the shape and form of a star on Hollywood. See, she's taking good care of me. Right? Am I ready to go? All righty. I've got the green light from one of the Westmores firsthand, so you stay tuned for this exciting event.
And I understand there are a lot of Westmores out there. Have you ever seen such a handsome group? All right. Now, the Westmores are a legendary family dynasty of makeup artists who defined beauty and glamour and set trends over the decades. George Westmore and his 6 sons, Monty, Ern, Perce, Wally, Bud, and Frank, literally, and I do repeat that, literally changed the face of Hollywood. And today they will receive the 2,370th star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. Let me tell you a little bit about this illustrious family. Pioneers of their industry, the Westmores not only created, but they defined the role of makeup artists in motion pictures. George Westmore opened the very first makeup department at Selig Studios in 1917. The brothers were responsible for creating the signature look for stars like Rudolph Valentino, Clara Bow, Elizabeth Taylor, Bette Davis, Audrey Hepburn, and even the Barbie doll. Now, currently the family's remarkable achievements continue through the work of 3rd and 4th generation Westmores as notable makeup artists, hairstylists, performers, and producers. The youngest of Monty Sr.'s 3 sons, Michael, received an Oscar and a British Academy Award nomination in 1986 for his work and artistry on Mask. And we can see that Michael is popular. He also received 9 Emmy statuettes and an impressive 42 Emmy nominations over the course of his career. To date, he holds the record for more Emmy nominations than any other makeup artist. That deserves a lot of applause. He is the founder and CEO for both the Westmore Academy of Cosmetic Arts and the George Westmore Research Library and Burbank Museum in Burbank. With 57 years of experience in the industry, the late Monty Jr.'s remarkable work can be seen in films Where the Money Is, Seven, The Shawshank Redemption, Jurassic Park, and The Towering Inferno. Now, finally, and this deserves a lot of applause, collectively, the family has delivered believable characters that we love in over 1,500 movies, television shows, and specials. Okay, that deserves a lot of applause. Okay. And now we have a special guest speaker who's here, a friend of the family, who also is a Walk of Famer, has a star on Hollywood Boulevard. His name is A.C. Lyles. Now, upon meeting producer A.C. Lyles, the first word that comes to mind is gentleman. Today, A.C. is Paramount Pictures' ambassador of goodwill to the world. He has been with the studio for 80 years. Did you hear that? 80 years. He just turned 90. He worked his way up from office boy to Paramount's director of publicity and then became the studio's leading producer of modestly budgeted films. He soon became known for a string of westerns, marked by their veteran casts, noted B-film directors, and short schedules. And on November the 5th, he will be honored by the Hollywood Chamber of Commerce for his longevity in the industry. Please welcome A.C. Lyle.
I see 6 people out here that don't have the name Westmore.
Careful, there's cards. It's raining on them.
I see it. Yeah, well, I'll hold up here a little. You know, as he said, I've been at Paramount 80 years, and my resume there says 1928 to 2008. That's a very short resume, probably the shortest resume in Hollywood history. And during those years, I've been associated with, I think, every star, writer, director, producer in our business. And I see people here that I worked with, and it's always good to see old friends. And you know, there are 120,000 members of Screen Actors Guild. And in that 120,000 members, there are actors, there are stars, there are superstars, and there are legends. In the makeup business, there aren't 120,000 people who represent being a star, an actor, a superstar, and a legend. There's only one family that represent that in the makeup, and that's the Westmore family. I guess we at Paramount were very fortunate because we had Wally with us for 45 years. 45 years, which is a record in the studio. But at that time, every major studio in Hollywood had a Westmore. 2 things they had: an entrance to the studio and a Westmore. And in 1932, one of our stars, Frederick March, won the Academy Award for the picture Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. And in that, there was a close-up sequence when Frederick March went from being the good guy to the mean guy, and Wally did that transformation on camera, and I think as much as anything, that got Frederick March the Academy Award. And Wally was one of the sweetest, dearest, most congenial men I've ever known. And then there was Frank. He was a rascal. One night, Wally kicked him out of the house at 2 o'clock, and he called me and said, "AC, can I come over and bunk with you?" So the next day, I said, "You take the apartment, and I'll go over and stay with Richard Arlen." And he stayed there a week, and the son of a bitch, when he left, he took my date book. That's true. And Frank, we took Frank with us over to Italy with Spencer Tracy and Robert Wagner to make a movie. And when we got there, we were unloading everything, and there was crates after crates after crates of makeup. We said, "Why did you bring all this makeup?" He said, "They're Westmore samples." We said, "For what?" He said, "Well, every night I'm going to have a seminar for ladies, and I'm going to show them makeup and give them a sample." So we waited every night for this horde of young people, young actresses and over there, and beautiful ladies to come. Every night, only one showed up. And she left with a handful of things. But you know, I remember going to Wally's wonderful office, and I wrote down a few of the stars I remember talking to seated in Wally Westmore's chair. was Mae West, Bob Hope, Bing Crosby, Dorothy Lamour, Gary Cooper, Barbara Stanwyck, Kirk Douglas, Marlene Dietrich, Cary Grant, Frank Sinatra, Charlton Heston, Lucille Ball, Elvis Presley, James Stewart, John Wayne, Joel McRae, Fred Astaire, Marlon Brando, Ginger Rogers, James Cagney, Humphrey Bogart, Betty Davis, Paul Newman, and Paul Newman is the most generous contributor to today. The Westmore family contributed so much to Paul's sermon. With Sophia Loren, Jack Lemmon, and even Cecil B. DeMille was there while he made him up for his appearance in Sunset Boulevard. And I also saw another friend of all of ours there, Johnny Grant, when he was preparing for his role in White Christmas. And I don't think we would always be here on the Hawk of Fame if it weren't for Johnny. And he put my star in front of the El Capitan Theater, and I'll always be grateful for him and the Academy, well, for that honor. And I tell you, those of us in this business owe a great deal of gratitude to so many people. And I don't know of any group of people that we owe more generous gratitude to than the Westmore family. Every one of them, and I think I've known all of them, and the youngsters who are here today, I saw them when they were this big. And I not only represent Paramount, but I represent everybody in our business in saying how grateful we are. And I know you've given them applause, but I think if we think of all the things that they accomplished, in our business, applause is so important, and a standing ovation. We're already standing, and that's an ovation to the Westmores, a standing ovation. And let's, with that, give us the biggest applause we can for all the Westmores.
There's only one A.C. Lyles. Give him another big hand. Okay. At this time, we want to hear from Michael. So, Michael, please come up on behalf of the family.
Okay. Thank God the rain stopped, because I would have to do it from memory then, whatever I wrote down. I would like to thank the Hollywood Chamber of Commerce and the late Johnny Grant for this honor they bestowed on the Westmore family with this star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. If any of the uncles in the family were still alive today, I know they're looking down at us, and they love the recognition that is so long in coming. I wanted to show you, for many of you who haven't seen it, but this beautiful announcement card created for today's unveiling ceremony is a recreation by my son Michael. Oh, okay. He duplicated the typeface and the layout from the original invitation that was first designed for the grand opening of the House of Westmore, the salon that opened its doors in 1935, that was right over there at 6638 Sunset Boulevard 73 years ago. So I know a lot of people that have these, they want to frame them because it's something that's a copy of 73 years ago. Other family attendees I would like you to meet are Jeannie Westmore, Bud Westmore's late wife, or Bud Westmore's wife. Gloria Westmore couldn't be with us today. She was Frank Westmore's wife. She's Frank Westmore's wife. And June Westmore down here, my late brother, Monty's wife. And I want to thank all the rest of the Westmores, which I think are half of you, and all the contributors that we had. I also want you, well, you've already met Mr. A.C. Lyles. He's basically the most famous icon in Hollywood, and you really got to see a living legend. I had the opportunity of working with him for 18 years. I also want to make note, so you know, of Christina Benson, the great-granddaughter of Ern Westmore, and Helen Cohen, who made this star possible. They put a lot of work and energy into it. and for sharing this momentous moment with our family. Thank you to my wife and children, Marion, Michael, Michelle, Tony. Don't ask me their birthdays. Mackenzie, Keith, and our grandson, Maddox. To all our personal friends, the Star Trek fans, associates from the Makeup Artists, Hairstyling, and Makeup Guild, all the tourists that stopped by, and anybody that just got off the metro, thank you. Thank you for being here. So today, please join me in dedicating this star to honor the legacy of the Westmore dynasty from Grandfather George to his sons and daughters to the third, fourth, fifth, and future generations of Westmores. Thank you.
Thank you, Michael. And now we're going to hear from Marvin, and Marvin will be speaking down on the floor here, so if he could, on the sidewalk, if he could just step forward.
Right. Okay, here we go. This honor today is really long overdue for a number of people. My brother Mont, who passed away last fall, excuse me. It's my older brother, who was a father and a mentor and a leader and a guide. Because our dad passed away when we were kids. I want to pay special tribute to my father and my mother, little Edie, who helped to raise me and my kids. And my children are now the fourth generation into makeup. Candy, Kevin, and the other boys, Eric, Chris, and Matt, are in production. So they're all in the business, and it's a pleasure to be here to accept this honor. But again, mostly to honor my mother and my father and my brother Mont. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Marvin. Okay, now many of you may not realize that the Chamber of Commerce administers the Walk of Fame on behalf of the City of Los Angeles. And we have today a beautiful resolution passed by the City Council and signed by the Mayor and our council members for Hollywood. It repeats a lot of the things I've already said, but let me tell you what it concludes with. It says, "Now therefore be it resolved that by the adoption of this resolution, the Los Angeles City Council, along with the Mayor, hereby congratulates the Westmores of Hollywood on this well-deserved honor of receiving their star on the world-famous Hollywood Walk of Fame." I'd also like to mention this star was actually approved while our past honorary mayor, Johnny Grant, was alive. He worked very hard to get this approved. And I want you to know that today on his behalf, as Johnny would have done, we would declare this the Westmore Day in Hollywood. So, Marvin and Michael, please join me up front as well as AC, and let's go down and unveil this star. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, we proudly welcome to the Walk of Fame the Westmore.
I'm here with Mackenzie and Michael Westmore. Please tell us how big of a deal it is to have not only your family here, but lots of friends and supporters as well for your special day.
This is so exciting and such a huge honor to have the star for the Westmores finally. It's about time, especially, you know, for my dad in honor of his last name and the lineage and the legend that comes with the last name.
Well, it's for the whole family too, you know. It's like for the generations to come even that go into the business. We have a fourth and a fifth generation that's actually working in the business too now. So it's wonderful. It's for the whole family to come down, enjoy it, bring their friends. So it's an honor because it really makes you part of Hollywood.
Now, when you were younger, watching the second and the first generation, did you think that this day would happen, a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame?
I actually wasn't planning on going into makeup till I was 18 years old, so I didn't know.
But I'm sure you don't regret your decision then, right?
No. It's been a wonderful time. Yeah, really enjoyed it.
All right, I appreciate it. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
I'm good. Can we open this up for the camera here? Wow, take a look at this. How lucky are we?
Very, very.
This right here sums it up in a nutshell. Now, I don't know if we can zoom in really, really close, but I tell you what, there's not going to be a better picture frame than what we have here with
Oh, thank you.
the Westmore ladies, right?
That's right.
That's right.
Explain to us what it feels like to finally be recognized for your family's lineage and contribution to the entertainment industry.
Oh my gosh, seeing as they started at the turn of the 1900s, it's absolutely amazing what they have accomplished and how long it's taken to be recognized. And especially Mike is my husband, and what he has done through the years and getting the Oscar and all of his recognitions. This is Michelle, his oldest daughter. Yes, so we really think that this is well deserved.
Time coming.
Yes.
Now, with all of that hard work, what's it like to hold down the fort at home?
Well, when we used to call it camp. If the industry was very good and he was good, he got to come home on weekends.
Okay.
No, it's been wonderful. We've been married 43 years.
Congratulations.
Which a lot of Westmores can't say. So we're very fortunate.
Is it the cooking?
It's the loving.
I was about to say the dessert, huh?
Yeah, there you go.
Well, thank you, ladies. I appreciate your time.
Thank you.
I'm here with Brenda and friends from the City of Commerce. They've come out to show their support for the Westmores of Hollywood today. No. Hey, come on in here, Terry. Terry, tell us how special a day it is today to have not only your family be honored, but to have so many people come together in the same place for such a special occasion.
Well, I'm very excited. There's more Westmores here than I even know, and I'm getting to know them today, and it's a great day for makeup, and it's a great day for the Westmore family, and I'm glad for all the family and friends that showed out today. It's a wonderful, wonderful event.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Can you tell us what it's like to be here today to celebrate the Westmore's big reception of the star on the Walk of Fame?
Well, it's about time that they have one. I mean, if you think about it, the Westmores have been involved with makeup for almost every studio here. I mean, it just makes logical sense.
It's very exciting. I'm very honored to be here. They deserved it for so many years. They're such a dynasty, the whole family.
Tell us what it's like to firsthand working with the Westmores, to actually be on set with them and watch them do what they do and be able to absorb that knowledge.
Well, it's like you're working with a piece of history. You're working with a legend. Both of us.
Totally professional, calm atmosphere, no egos. He will give you any information on anything you need to know. And again, no egos. The nicest, he's a gentleman, a throwback to the old days, which we don't have anymore.
I mean, Ron and I both worked on the Star Trek shows for years and years and years with Michael, and it was great.
It was, yeah, it's unbelievable. We're kind of sad he's no longer there because we miss him. You walk by Paramount and you go, well, there his office used to be.
Right.
You know, such a kind gentleman. And Marvin Westmore, I taught at his school for a while, and he's always been a gentleman too to help me in my career and everything.
Did you see any potential students that maybe might be deserving of carrying on the torch, or?
They're up and rising. We're kind of the older generation now. There's a younger generation of younger 18-year-olds and stuff, so we're the older generation now.
Well, now, if you want to give away another star on the Walk of Fame, there would be the Don family.
Okay.
Yeah, the Don family, yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Right, they're definitely a dynasty as well.
Yeah,
So maybe we'll be here this time next year for the Dons.
Hey,
that'd be good. That'd be
I
good.
bet they would love it.
Thank you, gentlemen.
You're welcome. Thank you very much.
I'm here with Mr. Lyles, living legend when it comes to television and movie makeup. Explain what it's like for you today to be part of this celebration.
Well, I just recently celebrated my 90th birthday, my 80th year at Paramount.
Wow.
And during those 80 years, I think I worked with all of the Westmore boys, particularly Wally, who was at our studio 45 years.
Wow.
And Frank was with us a lot, too, because Frank was so close to Paul Newman. Matter of fact, Paul Newman was probably the most generous contributor all of this today. That and the Cecily DeMille Foundation and all of us here. But I tell you, they are so that at one time every major studio in town had a Westmore as head of the studio, and they are as a family are as important as there are 210,000 members of the Screen Actors Guild. And there's only one family of makeup in Hollywood, and that is the Westmore family.
Absolutely.
And you look around today and you see these people, and I'm not seeing a larger crowd for any star unveiling here. And I look at them, and I have to tell you, a lot of the young ladies I knew when they were born and when they were babies. So it's making me feel like my 80 years. Today.
Well, you're still going strong though, Mr. Lyles.
AC sounds better, and I just came from the studio to be here. I'm going to have lunch with some of the Westmores and go back to the studio.
Okay.
Because we're very busy, and the makeup people and our industry is so important. All the way back, I remember in 1932, we made a picture called Jekyll and Hyde. And Frederick March was a star, and they won the Academy Award. Right. And Wally Westmore created a thing where they just put a close-up on Frederick March, and he gravitated from being the good doctor to the nasty monster, and you saw it on camera. And how Wally Westmore and the camera did that is absolutely intricate, and just was such a factor in getting Frederick March the Academy Award. That's how important makeup is.
Well, did you envision 80 years ago that the makeup industry itself would be receiving a star on the Walk of Fame?
Well, I tell you, I got a star on the Walk of Fame in front of the El Capitan Theater 20 years ago, and I figured if I have a star, everybody in our industry should have a star. And I was one of the sponsors for the Westmore family to be honored. And no family in the history of our business deserves it more than the Westmore family. And there are hundreds of people here today, and I looked out and I think there were only 2 people here who weren't related some way to the Westmore family, the makeup people.
Yeah, me and my camera guy, right?
Yeah, you're the 2.
Did you know that we actually work for a network that is exclusively designed for makeup artists only? Imagine that.
That I don't know of any other section in the motion picture that has that.
Yeah.
Now I tell you, at 90 years old, I hope that you noticed that I had a silk stocking and I put it over the lens so that it would, make me look a little softer.
Right.
And then I think he put a little Vaseline on it to make it look a little better. So from now on, when I make an appearance like today, I'm going to come over and have you sort of touch the old man up.
Okay. Sounds good. Okay, I appreciate your time, sir.
It's a pleasure.
All righty, thanks, AC.
Thank you so much. Bye.
AC Lyles. They call him AC for a reason. The coolest 90-year-old that I know.
Thank you.
All right. Things are wrapping up here at Westmore Day. We're on Hollywood and Vine. The Westmores of Hollywood received their star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, and as you can see, it's been a very beautiful day in Southern California. We'll throw it back to you, Mr. B.
What a fantastic event. Kareem, thank you so much for all of your coverage of the famous uncovering of the Westmore star on Vine Street in Hollywood. This is Joe Blasco for MUA TV. Don't go away. We have a lot more makeup programming right here.